Good morning, my viewers. This is Ayodele Samuel Jude, your smart tutorial founder. We are always there for you to give you the basis that you need in your various subjects as students, schools, teachers. Parents can also learn from the platform and pass the knowledge to their children. Also, we recommend that you just click the subscribe button now on this YouTube. Just do that. Click the subscribe button. It's free, so don't be scared. You're going to pay a dime for it. It's free, so that you can always get our latest video from us here. And what we do here on this platform is to give the basis on the various subjects. Also, you can join the smart tutorial platform on the Facebook. Just send in your request. You will be accepted into the group where you can contribute, ask questions, make requests for videos, make requests, ask questions. We'll be there to help you out for free. Also, if you want to personalize our service is always available at home, online. We always get your back covered, and we value the privacy of our young ones. Also, if you want to make demand for that, you can always send us message on the WhatsApp. The email is there on the Facebook platform. You can always send message directly to us. We'll be there to help you out if you need our personal service. So today we'll be looking at limitation of bracket multiplicative effects. What is it trying to say? The topic is just trying to tell us that it is not every time we see a bracket we just think about multiplication alone. No, bracket is more than just multiplying. That is the essence of this video. Though will be for students, you have to take note of the four. Sorry, okay. You have to take note of these four steps when you are dealing with brackets. The first one is you have to identify each term's boundary based on the position of the plus and minus. That is, the plus and the minus, they show you a complete entity. That is, how many terms do you see in a question is determined by plus and minus. What am I trying to say here? What I'm trying to say here is here. Look at this, 4 plus 5. This plus is for this 5. That means this plus 5 is a single entity. So plus is for this 5. And also you must be able to identify the ownership of the plus and minus. That is, when you identify the ownership of the plus and minus, then you know a complete term. Look at this, minus 3. The minus is for this 3. That is, anything in front of you own it. That is what happens in mathematics. If you look at what I'm going to show you here, you say this is plus 2. This plus 2, this plus belongs to this 2. This minus belongs to this 1. So anything in front of you belongs to what? Belongs to you. So the other one is identify if it is like and unlike terms. We'll get to that when we talk about algebra. That is, like terms are the things you can add them together. Unlike terms are things that doesn't look alike. You cannot add them together. So we have a video on that also. Then what is the meaning of brackets? Brackets in itself means two things, which is solve what is inside the bracket, and then open the bracket with what belongs to the bracket. What belongs to the bracket? It must belongs to the bracket before you can multiply the content of the bracket with what belongs to the bracket. So if it does not touches the bracket, that means it does not belongs to the bracket. It can touches the bracket if you are able to know the boundary of the bracket, the boundary of the terms that are around the bracket. So let's try to solve what we have as our examples. Let's look at the example 1, 2, 3. This is the content of the bracket. That is, solve what is inside the bracket first. That is the first thing before you remove or before you open the bracket. The same thing applies there. This is minus 3. This minus belongs to this 3. This minus does not belong to this bracket. Now let's look at this minus. This is 3. Anything here belongs to this 3. This is minus does not belong to this 3. So the minus belongs to this bracket. That means you are opening the bracket with only this minus, not with this 3. Here, this minus belongs to this 3. So it does not belong to this bracket. So nothing belongs to this bracket. So it's just open the bracket like that. Here, 3 is touching the bracket. Nothing, this minus belongs to 3. Now, nothing separate the 3 and the bracket. That means 3 belong to this bracket. That means you must use 3 to open this bracket. And let me now add to it. This 3 owns this minus. That means the bracket here owns the 3, owns the minus. So that is just it. That is, the father owns the wife, owns the children. So you have to take note of this very well. So let's start with the solution. Here we now have what? 3 minus what is inside the bracket is what? 9. So minus times 9, not 3 times 9, because the minus does not belong to the 3. So the minus belongs to the bracket. That is 3 minus 9. Minus times 9 will give us minus 9. Is that taken? So 3 minus 9 will give us, that is, this is plus 3. Count 3, take away 9. Let's do it together. 1, 2, 3. We have counted 3. Take away 9. Take away 1, take away 2, take away 3, take away 4, take away 5, take away 6, take away 7, take away 8, take away 9. We discover that our answer still remains 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Our answer, we still have what? Minus 6. That is minus 6. That is our answer for this. Let's look at this. This is 4 plus 5. We have 9. Minus 3. This minus does not belong to the bracket. So nothing belongs to this bracket. You just open the bracket like that. Then we give us what? Count 9. Take away 3. Under BODMAS, you have to do the addition first before the plus, before the minus. Here, this, when there is nothing in front of the 3, that is invisible sign, which is always plus, is there. So 9 is what? Plus 9 minus 3. So plus 9 minus 3 will give us 6. That is, count 9, take away 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Take away 3. Take away 1, take away 2, take away 3. The square that is what? 6. This 6 is still the same thing as plus 6. Plus is invisible. Plus is invisible sign. So let's look at what happens there also. Here we have a minus 3 into bracket 9. That is, you solve what is inside the bracket first. So the bracket owns this 3, owns this minus, because the minus belongs to the 3. So the bracket, nothing separates the bracket and the 3. And I tell you, plus and minus is what separate items in mathematics. It shows you the separations, the boundary between an items. So since there is no plus or minus between the 3 and the bracket, that means the 3 is touching the bracket. That is 3 times 9 is 27 minus, that is, the minus is there. Minus 3 times 9 will give us minus 27. I could remember these particular steps. I make a mistake. I put I think 18. Yeah. So, and out of a lot of my students, I think just only one of my moderator was able to point it out. The students were just looking at it. That means you are not, if you can't correct your teachers, it doesn't make any sense. Your teacher can make a mistake. You as a student, don't be shy to make a mistake, because when you make the mistake, it improves you when you are able to identify the mistake yourself, or someone is able to put you through. So don't be scared to make a mistake. No one is above mistakes. Is that taken? So it's a joy to me when my student is able to correct me after explaining very well, and I'm solving it. I make a mistake, the student correct me. It simply means the students are following. So it's not a bad deal. It's not a bad deal. Okay, just try as much as possible to make an attempt. Just do it. Okay, I'll give you some work at the end of the video. Just try to solve it, take a picture of it, then send it to me, and let's If you cannot send it today as comments, maybe you are scared, you can send it directly to me on WhatsApp, as I've always show you there, or you can just send it to the platform. Let others learn from you. There's nothing bad when we learn from each other. Okay. Now let's look at number 4. Number 4 here, solve BODMAS bracket first under BODMAS. So we have to solve the bracket. Bracket means solve what is inside the bracket, which is 4 plus 9, which is what? 9. Then we have what? 3 plus 2 minus 1. Now the question is, what are we going to use to open the brackets? This is minus 1. The minus belongs to this 1, not to this bracket. Plus 2. The plus belongs to this 2, not to this 3. This 3 have its own. That is not our problem for now. Now 2 and bracket. This bracket, nothing is between 2 and bracket. That means the bracket owns the 2. It owns the 2. So if bracket owns the 2, it also owns the plus. That is what? 2 times 9, which is what? 18. That is plus 18. Then just bring the minus 1, then 3. So 3 plus 18, 21. 21 minus, because you have to always solve addition before subtraction when there is no bracket or any other sign in it. Is that taken? So 3 plus 18, that is 21 minus 1, 22. 22. So let's look at this. This is another cunning aspect of brackets. You have to know how to identify what touches the bracket. Now this is solve what is inside the bracket first, which is what? 9. Now nothing separates the bracket from these 3. Nothing separates them. So that means the 3 owns the bracket. That is 3 times 9. It's 3 that owns the bracket now. The bracket is not owing anything. So the 3 owns the bracket. That is 3 times 9 is what? 27. Then let's look at what we have here. Let's solve what is inside. The first thing in bracket is solve what is inside the brackets. Just do the first thing first before bothering about the other things. Now, let's look at it. This is bracket. Nothing separate the bracket and these 2. That means the bracket owns these 3. The 3 owns the minus. That means the bracket owns the 3 and owns the minus. That is the what? Bracket times 3 times minus. Now, let's look at this. The 3, nothing separate the bracket and the 2. That means the 2 owns the bracket. So if the 2 owns the bracket, that means it's what? 2 times 9 also. That is minus 3 times 9 times 2. So this is what? 3 times 9, 27. Minus 27. Minus 27 times 2. That would give us minus 54. That is minus 54. So that is that regarding to the issue of brackets. You can always play the video back to get more knowledge about what we have explained. Now let's look at how the bracket work also in algebra. You know, algebra is just the manipulations of number and alphabets. So always take note of that. And also we have questions for you. You can always write it down and solve. Is that taken? Just write it down and solve. You can pause the video to write it down and solve. We have to use what is in our disposal as regards to technology. Okay, so just help us to manage the video. Now we have x minus this. All the questions are algebra, yeah, except for this, which does not have alphabet. All the other ones have both alphabet and number. Now under algebra, you have to look at it. Is it like terms or unlike terms? 2s minus 5. There is nothing you can do here. It will remain as 2s minus 5 because they are what? Unlike terms. So that means the bracket owns this minus. You have to use this minus to multiply what is inside the bracket. The next question is, how many items do we have inside the bracket? We have 2 items. The minus belongs to this 5. So that means 2s is different from 5. It's separated from minus 5. So 2s is an item, minus 5 is an item. So you have to use the minus to multiply each items 2 times. This one and this one. That is, we have what? X minus times 2s will give us minus 2x. Minus times minus 5 will give us plus 5. We have a video on multiplications of addition and subtractions. That is positive, and a video on multiplication of positive and negative items. So you can search for that under this our channel, Samuel Dino, to watch that. Also, so from here now we've opened the bracket. So the next step is what? X minus 2s. S and this one is 1s, this one is minus 2s. They are like terms. We can solve this together, but this is a number, these are alphabets. Minus x minus 2s will give us minus x, then plus 5. So this one, they are unlike times. You can rearrange by having your plus first, then followed by the minus, which is what? Plus 5 is still the same thing as 5 minus x minus x. So you know it look better. It look better. So from what we have here, the next one is x minus 2x. You can solve this. Try this. Just try this and get back to me. Now let's look at this. This is minus x. The minus belongs to this x. Not so it does. There's no relationship between the brackets. There is nothing that join the brackets and this. So minus belongs to this x, not to this bracket, because the minus is in front of x. So just open the bracket like that with nothing. S plus 5. Those are the limitations we try to point out. So you rearrange alphabet and alphabet, they are still together. That will be what? Plus 5. That is, this and this are alphabets. You bring them close together. 2s minus s will give us 1s, then plus 5. So that is it. Now let's move to the next one. S and 5, they are unlike terms. You cannot add them together. I think you should be able to solve this one. That is, minus belongs to the bracket. So you use the minus to open what is inside the bracket. Plus 2. Plus 2 does not belong to the bracket because the 2 is for, the plus is for this 2. So it's separated. So let's solve what we have here. Now, the first thing is solve what is inside the bracket. What is inside the bracket is 4 divided by 2, which is what? 4 divided by 2 will give us 2. Times 5 minus 2. You still have to solve what is inside the bracket. Now, what is the bracket comes before times. What is touching the bracket? Only plus. This plus does not belong to this 3. It belongs to this. So that will give us plus 2 times 5 minus 2. The next one is under BODMAS is multiplication. Multiplication, that is, the multiplication is between 2 and 5. Plus 2 and 5. That is, because the plus belongs to these 2. That is, you are multiplying 5 with plus 2. Plus 2 times 5 will give us plus 10 minus 2. Then plus first, that is 13 minus 2. 13 minus 2, can't 13 take away 2 will give us what? 11. Now, that is the final answer for, that is the final answer for the question. That is, solve what is inside the bracket first. Open the bracket with what is touching the bracket. What is touching the bracket here is plus. Is this plus? Is this plus? So this plus belongs to the bracket, not for this 3. So that is why we have plus 2 times, that is times plus times 2 will give us plus 2. So times 5 minus 2. So you solve the next one with the use of BODMAS. Multiplication before plus and addition. Give us 10. This and this, then we solve this. Now let's look at this question number 6. This question number 6 is very simple. You discover that the bracket, there is no plus or minus between the brackets. Don't say because the bracket touches each other. It's not necessary they touch each other. So from what we have here, that is, nothing is between these 2 brackets. That means the bracket is what? You have to multiply what the content of the 2 brackets together. How do you do that? you have to pick one first from here, use it to multiply. How many items do we have here? That is, we have x minus belongs to this one. That means we have s and minus 1 inside this bracket. So for you to open this bracket with this, you have to pick the items one after the other. That is, take the s, multiply it with what we have inside the bracket, then take the plus 1, multiply it with everything that we have inside the bracket. So the first one is s times x. That will give us x squared. The next one is x times minus 1. That will give us minus x. That means we are done with x. Then you go to the next one, plus 1. Plus 1 times x, it will give us plus x. Plus 1 times minus 1, it will give us minus 1. So here, these two are like times, x and x. X is different from s squared. S squared is like someone having two heads. It's different from someone that is having x and one head. So s squared is unlike times to this. So we have three terms, x squared, x and number. So minus x plus 1, that is count one s, take away one s, it give us 0. That is, we have what? S squared. This one will be what? 0. Then it will remain minus 1. So this and this, they are also unlike terms. So that will be our final answer. So thank you for watching the video. I hope you are able to get one or two things. The limitation, that is, not everything that you see around the bracket you multiply the bracket with. You have to be able to identify if the bracket owns it or it owns the bracket before you can do the multiplication. That is what I've tried to explain them in the various steps or in the various example that we have there. So when something in front of you, when the plus and the minus is in front of an item, the items belongs to that entity. So try to solve these questions, write it down, solve it, and let's see what you are able to do. Solve it, send it as picture. Send it as picture to us on the Facebook platform, or you can send it directly to our WhatsApp. We'll be there to, we just try to look at things together. Is that taken? So thank you for watching the video. I still remain your smart tutorial founder, Ayodele Samuel Ju, aka Samuel Dino. So we are always there to help you free of charge. If you want to privatize our service, you are always there to help. We are always there to help you. So just message us and let's try to share knowledge. Thanks for watching.